Hey friends, big hello to everyone. It's Sergey with you on the YouTube channel Assistance TV. In this video I'm going to tell you about fishing knots. So to speak, fishing knots, the simplest and most versatile ones that can be used in spinning, feeder fishing, and all sorts of homemade rigs for crucian carp and carp. Guys, first of all, let's talk about what we're going to use to tie the knots. We're going to tie the knots using monofilament line regular carp line and braided line. For this video I chose fairly thick lines and a thick braid so that everything is clear to you. There's carp line, regular monofilament line, and braided line. Friends, first of all I want to remind you, for those who don't know the difference between regular monofilament line and carp line, this is important because different knots will hold differently. Look, regular monofilament line, here it is in this video, it's going to be clear. It's quite thick, and if we look at it, let's take a distance like this, about 50 centimeters, and we're going to stretch it. It stretches very little. This is a regular line that has a low degree of stretch. You see, it stretches very little. If we take this line, its diameter is 0.35 and this one is 0.30. If we take the exact same length of carp line, it will stretch much more at the same length. Carp fishing, it stretches a lot. It has a high degree of extensibility. For knots, this is very important because you need to make a good knot if you're fishing with this kind of line. Why do you need a line for carp? So such a high degree of stretch? Carp is a powerful fish and it has a strong bite, so you need to smooth out all its jerks. And when you're reeling in, the line will really help you a lot with that. Even though the rod and reel help you, the line will do a lot of useful things for you and forgive your mistakes while reeling in. If it stretches a lot like this over a meter, about 15 centimeters, just imagine how much it will stretch if the length is 20, 30, or even 50 meters. I want to say right away that braided line with overpen has no stretch at all. It's like a steel cable, guys, it doesn't stretch at all. It's strong, but it has no stretch at all. The first knot I want to tell you about is called the Palomar knot. And you can tie hooks, swivels, feeder rigs, and other various fishing accessories, such as hooks, swivels, etc. Guys, the knot is very simple. You can tie it literally with your eyes closed. And now I will show you how to tie it using the example of a swivel and a fishing hook. Here's our swivel. And we thread the line, guys. Like this, we fold it in half into our ear in owls. We leave the ear and then we tie a regular knot that we are used to tying. It's tied very simply. You just stack one over the other and pass it through from the back. Now at this particular moment we simply don't pull this tight yet. And now we throw this loop completely over our swivel and tighten it. So we've got the simplest knot tied here. This is one of the simplest knots. Here we have two ends of the line, one main and one short, which we just folded. And we cut it. We cut it not too close, but leave about 5 millimeters, because any knot can always stretch. Pull it tight, and this little end will be slightly shorter so that it never comes undone. You should never cut it too close. And, friends, I want to point out one small detail about all knots. When you tighten them, you need to wet them. Either take water on your fingers, or, as all fishermen do, wet them with saliva. But since we have an epidemic in the world now, guys, don't wet your fingers with saliva, don't lick them. Just grab a little water and wipe it before you tighten it firmly. Because the weakest element in the knot, in the rig, is actually the knot. And if it gets overheated at the moment of tightening, when we're pulling, the line will heat up. She's in it. At the moment, it weakens because it heats up when we pull. To prevent it from overheating, it's best to moisten it. And then everything will be great for you. Now I'll show you how to tie it. This same knot using a fishing hook as an example. After that we pull out the fishing line. And we tie a regular knot here. First, this loop, we cast it right here. And then we cast it onto our hook. We pull all of this tight. Before that, as I said, make sure to wet it. And just pull it tight here the excess end of the line. We just cut, but again, not too close. With a margin, we do that. Guys, during the quarantine period, we order a lot of goods online. I want to recommend using the e-catalog because you can choose and compare any products there. You can also check different prices from various online stores. It's all done very simply. We're moving to the e-catalog, where you can choose laptops, TVs, cameras, mobile phones, and other electronics, and most importantly, fishing gear. We're moving to the Tourism and Fishing tab, selecting fishing, and then choosing spinning reels. We make a selection according to the parameters. We make the spool size less than 1,000th, because I want a reel for ultralight. There are a lot of different reels, guys, starting from the most budget ones, the lowest and cheapest prices, ending with top manufacturers and good quality, and of course high prices. For every taste and color, for every opportunity, so to speak, you can look at prices in different online stores, you can look at product characteristics, product photos, and compare products with each other to understand what you really need. So, guys, about all the products, you can see all the different specifications, the weight, the production date of the product, the number of bearings, the spool size, and more. If you're interested, the link to the catalog will be in the description below this video, guys. Go ahead, browse, and order all the products online. Don't leave your home yet, and all this will definitely not affect us. And if it touches, it will only be superficial, and no one will notice. I wish you all good health, guys, and may everything be awesome. The link is in the description. The second knot, friends, is the improved clinch. There's the regular clinch, but this clinch is called improved because it includes an additional feature, the reverse loop in the rig. Now I'll explain everything to you in detail. This knot is used to tie fishing hooks, swivels, feeders, and various other fishing tackle. It's used for both monofilament lines and braided lines. Here's our swivel and line. This knot is tied, guys, with a single line. We thread it through the swivel. We step back a little, holding it with our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. That's how it's done correctly. Some people do more. Now, this end, this first loop that was near the swivel, goes here. We pull it out through the owl and back, right here from where we came, on the outside, and we tighten it all up. You definitely need to wet this knot, because that's where the line rubs the most. Friends, you see what kind of friction we get? When we tighten it, we end up with a big noose there at end. This knot definitely won't come undone, because it supports itself with the upper hitch loops. What will constantly pull the excess end tight? The free end. We cut it off just like that, but definitely not too close. Guys, I'll show you again how it's tied. We thread the end into our swivel. Here we hold it with our finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. We thread this edge. Right here, where we held the loop, we put it back into this loop. Like this. Both ends are now held slightly. And all of this tightens itself up. Here it is, the knot again. What a handsome fellow we have got. The next knot is called the figure 8. Guys, it seems. Very simple and holds very well. I'm tying line to line, guys. Leaders, tying, thin line to thick line, swivels, and loops. The ones I make for leaders. Guys, this is a wonderful knot that I most often use in feeder fishing. Now I'll tell you how to tie it. The figure 8 knot can be tied in 2 ways. Both methods are quite simple. I'll show you exactly those. Here we have 2 lines of different diameters and different colors for clarity. Now I'll show you how to tie the knot. We take these lines and fold them in half. Like this we take it, guys, and just make a loop, laying one over the other. And here's this free end. So where do we have 2 of them? We wrap it around and then we just thread it through. Right here. When we now drag out this whole thing, We get it right here. The gate knot. We tied it up. This knot will never come undone. It will hold the two connections tightly and the line won't slip. The second method, in my opinion, is even easier. Again, we fold the two lines in half and make a loop. Now we don't wrap it around. We just take this loop, turn it once in our hands. And from the back we insert it into the loops. Here it is, the figure 8 knot, you see? Here it is. Tighten up. That's it. Just like that, everything tightened up perfectly. Don't forget to wet the knots. And these two excess ends that we don't really need, we just simply cut them off with scissors right here. As you can see with this knot, you can connect two lines or you can tie one line. And now I'm going to show you how I make loops for feeder rigs using this same figure 8 knot. Because this knot is simple and holds the loop on the feeder rig really well, and it can be tied in just a few seconds. Here we have the fishing line. Let's imagine we're tying a feeder rig with it, although it will be much thinner. But again, for clarity, we take the thick line and tie the knot. Exactly. We also fold it in half. Half. We fold it. We twist it. And this same double knot. We thread through here. Now we carefully pull it tight. Here's our figure 8 knot. We pull it closer to the edge of the loop. And we just tighten everything up. We pulled it tight. And here we have it after tightening. Here we have a nice loop that is secured with a strong knot called the figure 8. We cut along the edge, but again we don't cut it right up to the edge, but we leave a few millimeters of millimeter. 4-3 as a rule, up to 5. And here's the loop. Now we're going to thread everything through like this. Loop through loop. Next, I want to talk about how to properly thread the loop through the loop, because we can tie the rig using different knots. But some people in the comments ask, Seryoga, how do you properly attach it to the feeder? Because some make a very common mistake, and their two loops don't hold 100%, but only about 50%. They push one loop behind the other, and the second one just goes in a ring, whereas both should hold onto each other. The loop goes through the loop, any base where there are two loops. So for example, a rig and a feeder, a rig and another rig, a rig and a line. In general, any base where there are two loops. So now I'm going to show you how to properly thread the loop through the loop. Here we have two loops. Let's imagine that these are two rigs for us. Here they are coming with the main line. How to do it wrong. The fishermen take the line and thread it through this loop. The rig and the free end. Rig tightens it right here. This way, when they make the main tightening, here only one leader is working. This one is tightened here with a knot, and this leader just goes through the ring. Guys, this is the wrong way to tighten it. The correct tightening is done when we put the leader on top and we pass the second free end not through our own leader but into one. Now when we tighten these two leaders, we will have this. This is a connection that slides and rubs against each other. You see, now during the tightening we will have two leashes playing and two leashes will hold on. And my favorite knot, which I have been using since childhood, which my father taught me. I always tie all my fishing hooks with these kinds of knots. I really like it, it's very strong. In my entire life, it has probably never come undone if tied correctly. Another advantage of this knot is that you can tie hooks with eyes and hooks with a small paddle. Where there is no eye, there's just a small paddle. It can be knitted from absolutely any fishing line, cord and any diameter. This knot is called a spindle, but to me it looks like a cry. The advantage is that I have it. But I can tie it with my eyes closed. Just by feel, even at night while fishing. The advantage is that you can tie it with any type of fishing line or braid, and you can tie hooks with or without a paddle. This is advantage. If you want to tie, for example, a swivel with this knot instead of a hook, you need to make a lot of turns and then wrap it several times at the end. free end. For swivels, it is better to use the knots that I told you about earlier. And let's save this knot for the hook. Our free end of the line and the hook. This hook comes with an eye, but I'll also show you how to tie it with a paddle. We take the line and thread it through. And this is very important, guys, because different anglers do it differently. Who threads the line from the front? Who threads the line from the back? This is important because the hook will hang differently in different cases. If you thread it through from the back, it will hang like this. If you thread it from the front, it will hang a little bit like this, at an angle. So I still recommend threading the line from the front of the hook. We thread it through the eye and pull it through. Here we take quite a large distance. Let's make a loop, guys. And we hold this loop down here with our finger. For our hook, here we have a double end, and this is the main line. This is the line that comes from the loop, and we wrap it around once. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5. They make 6 turns, as the anglers do it correctly. It's important that all these loops go strictly one above the other on our hook's shank. You see, they are lined up one after the other, and that's very important. Now we grab it and we thread this end from the back into our loop, and we moisten everything here as well. And all this stuff now, we tighten it up, and here we have a great knot. Fantastic, it holds together. All the loops are stacked on top of each other. They hold on to each other. All the loops. It comes out from the front. And here everything is also tightly secured. It's also very important in this case to cut off, friends, the free end. A few millimeters, leaving it like this. We trim the excess end. This knot can stretch a little in the areas of our loops. So here we also leave 3 to 4 millimeters. Here it is, my favorite fishing knot. Now I'll show you again how to tie the same knot for a hook without an eye, but with a paddle. Here we have an eye, but we won't be threading it, we're doubling the line. We're pinching it here. Here goes the main end. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Shower. See, we make loops, grab it, and this end just like that. We thread it through here. And now we just pull everything tight. That's it, we've tightened it. And guys, here it is, see, it's not through the eye, but the line goes from the side. Here it is. So, the eye is free on the side. Now we just tighten everything up, pull it tighter as you need, and that's it. The excess free end is cut off, guys. Here are basically all 5 basic knots for fishing. I told you. If you like this video, support me with a like, leave your comment, friends, and write in the comments what main nodes you use. Maybe it's perhaps one of the knots from the ones I showed, if I made any mistakes in tying the knots or in their names. Friends, don't scold me too much, because you know that any knot can be redone 10 times, and the name comes to different people in different ways in different regions. So that's how it is. I hope this video was useful to you and will definitely come in handy while fishing. And also let me know in the comments if you remember any of these knots by heart. From what I showed you, I wish you all good luck, tight lines, and plenty of fish. May all viruses stay away from you, and may you catch big fish like this one. Bye everyone.